Alrighty. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Friday Night Mic Drop. Appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. Thank you so much. Please let me know you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or yes, I can hear you, whatever. If you can't, that's fine. We'll figure it out, but I think everything should be good. Kathy McWilliams, thank you for joining the Fin Force. Sheila Sutton, thank you so much. You're awesome. Heather, you're actually home tonight. Oh my Lord. Folks, everybody that knows Heather, that's pretty amazing. It's probably been months. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you though. Seriously, Kathy and Sheila, you're awesome. Let's see. Yeah, not like you to be home, Heather. Not like you to be home. Margaret, how you doing? How are you and your man? Good to have you guys on here. Appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, you're under the weather. Sorry to hear that you're under the weather. That's terrible. I hate being under the weather. I've been allergies and whatnot in the past forever. Let's see here. Sheila, appreciate you again. Firing it up. Yes. Kate O'Donnell, how you doing? Good to have you on. Thank you so much. Brenda Castleberry, Jill Leak, and some Lola somewhere out there. I'm sure maybe, we got our Canadian force out there. Let's see who else. Lori Lindsay, man, good to have you. Awesome. Sarah, how you doing? Man, I appreciate you guys all showing up tonight. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get into it, man. Kristen Turner also. Reading books on Elvis, Lord Almighty. Well, okay, so first things first here. It's been a wild week, to say the least, man, and happy to be here. I am a little exhausted, and it's not necessarily because of anything overwhelming. Maybe just a realization of change, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But man, we had some bangers this week. Christopher Dunn, bless his soul, he is an awesome human being, man. Gentle, kind-hearted, peaceful, and I know he probably comes across a little bit more of like a professor when he's talking. I loved it though, man, because his approach and his just knowledge on what's going on over with Giza and the Giza Power Plant idea theory. It's pretty awesome. So, John, of course, you guys know John, who comes on here a lot. I don't see him here so far tonight, him or Christine, but they might be out. But man, his theory is awesome. And whenever he said, where did they get the rocks to build the pyramids? Did they get them from these 2 kilometer deep pillar, dug out underneath all these structures? Man, it makes sense. Where do you put all that rock otherwise? Number one. And number two, they say they get the rocks from Aswan, the quarry in Aswan, which is like 500 miles away. And they would float these massive, bricks, I guess we'll call them that, but like 10-ton, whatever, or more bricks. They would float them up the Nile River, 500 miles, and then, transport them to the pyramid and put them in place. All right. Easier said than done, but I'm not aware of any bricks of, these massive megalithic stones that have ever been found in the Nile River. I'm sure with the millions of bricks that are in the pyramid that at some point there might have been a crash. There might have been a capsize or whatever. And they got stuck there. No. So whenever he said that, it took me a second to realize what he said. And then like for my head to wrap around what he said. And all of a sudden I was like, wow, that makes sense. Otherwise, where's all the material that was allegedly taken out of these, 2 kilometer deep, 10 meter wide shafts, that go right down into the bedrock? Something to think about, right? So, pretty awesome. And of course, just listen, the conversion of energy, that was the other fascinating thing. What he's talking about is, we don't create electrons, we harness them, and we do it through steam and a number of things. We burn fossil fuels to do that. Well, what if you didn't have to do that? What if you could just have this thing that creates that? So pretty fascinating, man. The science side of it, love it. Let's see. Julie, good to have you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. So this week coming up, Micah Van Huss. And that episode is available for all the folks in green there, the channel subscribers. Thank you. It's available right now. And man, but Micah's awesome. Micah is a former Marine. He was a sniper. He was in Afghanistan. He served 4 terms in the Tennessee House. So Tennessee congressman, state congressman. He's still a young dude though. But he's, we're kind of cut from the same cloth when it comes to some of the stuff that he likes to talk about. Anybody that has seen the episode already, there's an early introduction. Micah created that, so he's very creative. It's really awesome too. I love when you take things like from the Bible and you make it like real and you visualize it. It's pretty awesome. And just so you know, that scene where there was the commander giving orders, that is the Old Testament angel of the Lord, which is the incarnate Jesus Christ from the Old Testament. So it's very, very interesting. But yeah, we get into angels and demons, fascinating talk. So yeah, check that out. Then of course on ETA Files, that side of things, for all you out there who are into the Elvis stuff. Last night, man, with Ben Thompson, he's awesome, man. That was a fun conversation. His accent, I love it. I love him. I love joking around with him. He's a good dude, man. I can't say enough about him. I couldn't be happier. There's a lot of guys I don't have a dog in a fight for when it comes to if they win the ultimate or not. There's guys that I'm happy for when they do. But Ben's one of those guys from the first time I met him, saw him, I was like, that guy's special. And he is. So pretty awesome stuff, man. That conversation last night with Ben. And he got really, he didn't have to. But he opened up a little bit about his personal life as well. And I think we all appreciate that. I know I certainly do. So hats off to Ben. Great episode. And then, of course, next week, David Allen will be on ETA Files on Thursday night. Check it out if you're interested at ETA Files. But we're here to talk about the Ryan Files. Busy week. I had 2 interviews. One with a gentleman by the name of Samuel Chong, who reached out to me. He was referred to the Ryan Files by someone I'm not going to name because I'm trying to have him on someday as well. But Samuel's an interesting dude, man. He's an attorney. He's a translator. He's one of these dudes that's smarter than all of us, no doubt about it. But he came across this book written by Australian Michel Desmarquet. Desmarquet. I'm not exactly sure how to say it. French, obviously. But this dude got, he was just like a, what do you call it? Like kind of like a lawn guy, agriculture lawn guy, whatever. And he gets abducted. And he goes to this planet called Tiuba for, I think it was 9 days. And they instruct him on a bunch of stuff and send him back because they want him to tell the world about it. That's the story. And the gentleman that we're talking, and of course, Michelle has since passed on and whatnot, but our guest, Samuel Chong, got a chance to meet him, talk to him and whatnot, and then took up the banner, so to speak, and has translated the book, and it's a bestseller in China as fiction and in Taiwan as nonfiction, which is very interesting. But we get into the whole thing. It's called the Tiuba Prophecy. And Samuel does a great job of breaking down not just the abduction, but the technology and whatnot by this race. I think at one point he says there's 134 alien races out there. So it's a fascinating episode to say the least. So that'll be coming out down the road. And then this is breaking news. Okay. This is massive. I got contacted, through someone via Facebook, ironically enough. And I hardly ever check those messages. I'm just telling you, I don't. There's a lot of crazy stuff that comes through there. A lot of crazy stuff. Cuckoo. But, she's like, hey, there's this guy named Dr. Gregory Rogers who was the head, doctor at NASA, and he's became a whistleblower in 2025. I've heard about him, and I'm like, man, can this be real? Am I actually going to? And lo and behold, it was him, and we talked. And his story is fascinating, man. But long story short, this guy was NASA, head doctor at NASA, and he was in the Air Force. I mean, the dude's flown F-16s as well. 31 shuttle missions he was in charge of over. And long story short, he's seen some stuff during that time, and he retired in April of 2025 this year. And in May of 2025, he came out and whistleblower, he talked about it, and he came on our podcast. We had an hour-and-a-half conversation, and it is fascinating from start to end. If you want to know about the inside of NASA and whatnot, he talks about it. He talks about this one major event, and then we talk about some other things. So that episode is fascinating, and I'm really rushing to try to get that one out as soon as possible. You got to hear it. So anyway, some great stuff going on. Let's see what's going on here. Everybody's saying hi. Everybody made it. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Thank you. Sheila, thank you. Nathan and Hugo did not get a hold of me, Jill. Thank you. Love Ben. Yeah, awesome. So, anyways, I've got vegetables to cook tonight. I'm excited. I've got some stuff to do. And I'm going to tell you about it right now. Okay, the big news, whatever. First of all, before I get to the website, theryanfiles.com. Spent a lot of time and work on it. Now, on the mobile version of it, it's not quite there yet. I freely admit that. If you have a laptop or a tablet, go and check it out. It's a lot better. I am going to be optimizing it for mobile. I just got to get the information up there first, man. Big thing I wanted to do is talk about, okay, number one, the episodes. That's really the nuts and bolts of what we do, right? So you can go and quick glance, click on an episode. You can quick, boom, hit a button and go to the subscribe page if you want. All of that. But the other thing is, and I talk about it, the Deep Dive Book Club. And I know you can't see, and someday I'll do a video of the studio here, if you will. But there's all kinds of books over here, all authors that have been on. And if you look, I was surprised. I was surprised at the number of authors who've been on the Ryan Files, and then all the books. And man, their time is, valuable. And I just wanted to be able to share it out there. I'm not making a dime off of, I don't have affiliate links or anything like that. But how to get their books, you can just go and you can, number one, you can just scroll down, and if you want to see a certain episode, boom, it's right there. You can click that episode. But if you hit their name, it'll take you to a page that has a picture of them, their bio, their books, and links to get their books. So that's a good resource to have for anybody. Get involved, man. Read some of this stuff because it's life-changing, no doubt about it. So yeah, the website. And the other thing on the website is obviously, and you see right here, we got some new merchandise and a new way of doing merchandise. I encourage you. And just the way it is, man, I'm one person. I am one person. So I don't have the time to, and I don't want to be inefficient for you. So I figured out the way where I can upload this stuff and go through Shopify. And if you place an order, they'll print it and they'll send it to you. I don't have to warehouse it. I don't have to ship it because I'll screw that up somehow. And then it'll just take more time, for me to fix it or whatnot. And it's not my strong suit, I guess, is what I'm saying. So, that being said, all the merchandise, man, I appreciate it. If you get some, it helps out. And just one dude here trying to do this all. So I appreciate it. The shirts run about right size. This has been washed too. I probably need to get one size bigger for me, just because I'm not as skinny as I used to be. But I do love it. I love walking around with this shirt on, and it's the logo that you see on the YouTube channel. So, and you see it also on the ryanfiles.com. So that's one of 3 designs right now. The other one is Elements of Truth. And for whatever reason right now, it's only showing the back. So just click on the image. You'll see the front. You'll see the front on the ryanfiles.com if you go there. And then the other one is the Concern t-shirt with the particle explosion image that you might see at CERN whenever they're trying to smash atoms and find the God particle. And that's a can of worms that we want to get into at some point with someone who knows everything. I'm trying to get them on. So anyway, all right. So let me just check real quick, see what people say. Eric Pelton's there. Oh, Lord Almighty. The Pilgrim is in the house. How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you. Love that dude. Anyways, okay. So here's the deal. Wanted to talk about it, man. And I've been struggling with this for a long time. I've not been, secretive about the goal of wanting to continue doing the Ryan Files for, until I die, basically. So, it is the next step in the evolution of, being an entertainer for so many years. And there is going to come a time, I'm not saying it's next year or the year after or 5 years or whatever. I'm not putting a stamp on that time. But I am saying that there will come a time. And this is where all my energy is going after that. So, it's important to me to try to grow the channel. Like I said, I know I can be a better channel, if I have the money to hire some help and whatnot. And that's going to come at some point. So I'm always trying to grow it, and there you go. But that being said, when I first started this, and man, I've been going back and looking at some of the older stuff, and it's like, wow, we've come a long way. I don't discredit any of that early stuff, though, because that was a process that had to happen. And I really have enjoyed watching some of that stuff, because I'm like, okay, like we have grown. You don't see it, especially when you're as deep into it as I am every day, every week, every episode, all that. You don't really have time to smell the roses, I guess, is kind of what it is. You don't realize the growth until you go back 2 years later, and you look at an episode and you're like, wow, certainly could have been better, but at the same time didn't know and had to learn. So I enjoy the experience, and I love the fact that stuff is out there. And I'll tell you a little bit about that here in a second. I keep on pushing this down. So one of the things in podcasting that they say is, if you can get through your first 10 episodes, there's a good chance you have, what it takes to continue. And I remember going through and getting to that 10th episode and being like, wow, man, that was a struggle, but I made it. I guess I can keep on going. And then you forget about it, and they talk about lulls that happen, and there certainly has been lulls. Us not getting to over 10,000 or 1,000 subscriptions in the first year was, I thought for sure we'd be able to do that, but we didn't. And part of that is I had to be better, and I tried to be better. And also just finding what you want to do. I had this, idea, and it was a massive idea, and it needed to be, coalesced into what it ended up being. So there you go. And that's a process. But one of the things that they always say, successful podcasters, is that you really aren't a channel until you get like between year 2 and 3 is whenever everything really starts to open up. And it just so happens that we're coming up very shortly at the end of year 2 of the Ryan Files, and going into the 3rd year. And with that in mind, and with the long-term goal of what to, what I want the Ryan Files to be, and some things that have been played with that you know about, the Ryan Files After Dark on Fridays, things like that. I've kind of made an executive decision. Starting year 3, which actually starts technically on October 31st, Halloween, which is a Friday, I believe, this year. So the first Tuesday night episode won't be until I think the 4th of November. But that being said, that's around the time where year 3 starts. I've decided that I know the direction I want to go and whatnot, and it's going to be paramount in year 3 to expand. So we're going to have Tuesday night episodes just like we always do. And then on Friday nights, something different. Every other Friday night at 9 p.m., there will be the Ryan Files After Dark. And that gives me a chance to get into some kind of crazier, wilder, fun things. And sometimes it might be like kind of normal episodes, but there's certainly enough out there that that I can draw from that is going to be exciting to have, wherever it lands on Tuesday nights at 7 Central or on Friday nights at 9. And obviously you don't have to watch if it's late. You can watch the next day or whenever. But that's going to happen starting in year 3. And then, so I said every other night for the Ryan Files After Dark, every other week. So in the weeks in between, I'm going to start a new thing called Case Reopened. I got to figure out exactly how I want to phrase that. But it's going to be going back to some of the older, like year 1 stuff, and kind of, redone and whatnot, with a new intro and kind of a reflection of, about that particular episode. And then just show the episode. And a lot of those are shorter. I mean, some of them are 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. And it was just me back then because I didn't have any credibility to get any guests on. So, but there's some good content. Excuse me. There's some good content in that stuff. And so we'll be doing that every other week. And some of those episodes, folks, are like, I mean, some of my favorite episodes I've ever done are some of those, and some of the hardest work I've ever done is in some of those. And some of them only got like 197 views, which is crazy. Cause now if we're doing an episode and it's like 10,000, you're like, well, so, it'll be good to just bring those back in a new form, a new light, and whatnot. And that's going to include some branding. This whole concept I'm coming out with for, well, hello there, Finn, just in time. It's amazing going back and watching the number of times Finn makes an appearance. So I love that too. There's some new, you can't step on the computer. That's the only rule. Some of the episodes, the new stuff, like the Ryan Files After Dark, you saw some of the new branding. There's going to be some new branding that's also going to go on with the Ryan Files itself on the Tuesday night episodes. And also, you hear purring, oh, you're so sweet. And then also for the Case Reopened stuff. So I'm working on that, trying to get that all together by October. And I feel confident in terms of getting the interviews. That's the big thing I've talked about. It's really hard to get people to come on and whatnot and get it scheduled and then do the interview, get it edited, get it out there. But I just feel like now's the time. That's the other thing. If you go to the new updated theryanfiles.com, you'll see right really at the top, if you want to come on, if you got a story or whatnot, fill out the form, man. I'll get in touch with you. So I'm hoping that will also be a good portal for people who want to come on, because people have been emailing me, and some of them you've seen. So anyways, the other thing about theryanfiles.com, a lot of people don't know about Patreon and know all the stuff that's out there, man. But if you do go over to Patreon and become a Patreon member, there's a lot of content, especially the aftermaths, which is conversations after the camera stops, after the episode is over. Some of them are fascinating. One of the most recent ones is with last week's guy, Christopher Dunn, where he basically offered me a gig, which I'm going to be doing on January 31st. So it's pretty awesome. So those are some of the big plans coming up for year 3 of the Ryan Files. I'm going to, for the time being, continue with doing ETA Files. I feel like I can also accomplish that. And until it becomes such a burden that I can't get guys to commit to come on or get it to work. ETA Files is far harder than the Ryan Files. Because at least once you get a hold of someone on the Ryan Files, they're pros, you know, I don't have to worry about them not showing up and all that. Unless it's Dr. Sarfati, who's like, if you don't know math, you're going to die in poverty. So anyways, God bless him. So yeah, I feel confident I can do all this. The biggest, and this is the big concern, is January. I'm on the road all 5 weeks of January, not in the studio. So obviously when you're here, you know, at the studio, you can say, okay, I'm going to do an episode. And even if I'm only here for a couple hours, I can get it done, and I can at least have it in the can and then, you know, edit it on the road. Well, that's part of the problem is I'm going to be gone all of January. So the next 2 months, November and December, I have to get in the can, like, you know, 15 plus episodes. So that's going to be a struggle. I do feel confident I can edit them on the road if I need to and whatnot. But so if you feel like just saying a little prayer and getting some yeses, that would be awesome. And I hate setting on episodes too, because, you know, the people spend their time, they come on and whatnot, and I want to get it out there as soon as I can. Like right now I'm setting on a number. Excuse me. Fiend girl. I'm setting on a number of episodes. Excuse me. That I want to get out, and it's going to be easier because I'll have the After Dark time slots to do that. So let's see what you folks are saying. Finn, why don't you just sit down for a bit, baby? Hey, come on, right over here. There you go. Okay, that didn't work. Deneen, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you. Faye Smith, how you doing? Cowboy, how you doing? Appreciate you. Boy, she's in a mood tonight, isn't she? God bless her. Finn. Everyone's saying hi to you. Everyone's saying hi. Cowboy 54572 just subscribed to the ETA Files. Okay, cool. Cowboy, make sure you're subscribed to the Ryan Files. Annie B. Annie B is awesome. She is doing a great job over on TikTok, which I have to get that up on the website as well, because I don't know it and I don't understand it. So she is awesome, though. Go and check it out on TikTok. I'll put that in the description, the link. But anyways, look at that tail. Just, what are you doing, Finn? Finn, what are you doing? Anyway, you swear she never gets any attention, right? So that's about it, man. That's, you know, listen, at the end of the day, I want to see what we can do with this. Obviously, I think it was 81,000 something subscribers, and that's, you know, we're getting 5,000-6,000 subscribers a week, which is awesome. Can't wait for that. It's going to come hopefully this year. Knock on wood. But, you know, I think by the end of the year, there's a good chance we might be at 100,000 subscribers. And yeah, Sheila, I just joined TikTok. No idea what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah. It's Friday with Finn. Yeah, that's right. Um, yeah. So, it's just, I want to see what can happen. But I tell you what, if I get that 100,000 subscribers, you get one of those plaques. It's the silver one. It's not the gold one. You got to get 1 million subscribers for that. But to get that, I was talking to Clint. Well, you just calm down. I was talking to Clint from the Clint documents, if you recall. Yeah. He was saying, dude, if you get that, you're probably going to wear that thing as a belt. And I was thinking it would be funny just to walk out with an Elvis belt with the TikTok, or not TikTok, with the YouTube, those plaques you see. Could happen. You never know. You never know. So anyways, got a good night planned. Like I said, just going to make some vegetables. Excited about that. I'm starving. I haven't ate all day. So did a show and whatnot. Ain't nobody said anything about my green glasses. Can you see they're green? Can you? I don't know if you can. But anyways, that's about it, man. So, you'll be seeing more, and there's more stuff, man. Oh, by the way, and I just wanted to make this announcement too. Good friend of ours. You guys saw Gary Legier, who came on the first and only so far, Friday, Ryan Files After Dark, and talked about Mars. And his episode went on to get 170 some thousand plus views, which is awesome. And I was talking to Gary. Gary's one of the rare people that I actually talk to on the phone because, I give my number to all the people I talk to, but most people don't want to do that. So I talk to him on the phone. And, you get to know a person, I guess. And Gary's going through some stuff, man. Bottom line, Gary's going through some stuff. And, for all his rough edges and whatnot, whenever he's on, he's got a good heart. He's a good dude. I mean, he does. He has a good heart, and I love him. And it's funny talking to him on the phone is just like the episode. He'll go into a rant and he'll laugh and whatnot. But man, he does. He's a real human being. I mean, and we had a couple talks that got very serious. So if you're a praying person out there, keep him in your prayers. He's got some stuff going on. But I thought, you know what, Gary's one of those dudes, and this is just my thoughts, okay? This isn't him saying any of this, not at all. But I'm going to have Gary back, I think, next week, next Friday night. I'm going to be recording Gary, conversation with him. And if you show up to that episode during live, once it comes out, we interview on Friday. It's not going to be out for a bit. And I'm going to talk about it again, but I would encourage anybody, listen, if you got, $5 or whatever, and you want to give something, everything that's given, the super chats and all that stuff that you can donate, everything that I get on that episode is going to Gary, just to help out some stuff. And I'm going to donate some stuff as well over to Gary. So, just a way to, reach out and help someone, Gary needs it. So maybe we can do something awesome for Gary. So that's it. Let me make sure I got all the comments covered here. Now you can see the green. Okay. Yeah. Gary was a hoot, man. Full of information. I'll just wait till you hear what he's going to talk about. Gary. Yeah. Pray for Gary. Yep. Lori, you know the hard stuff. You do. Pray for Lori. Keep all this people here because you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I really do. Yeah. So I'm going to go and make some vegetables and do some work tonight and be awesome. I appreciate everybody who came out tonight. Check out theryanfiles.com, please. If nothing else, just peruse it. There's probably some links that are broken and messed up and whatnot. If they are, shoot me a message, the ryanpeltonfiles@gmail.com. Send me a message. And again, it doesn't necessarily look great on mobile yet. If you're on a computer or a tablet, it'll look a lot better. I just once I get everything up there, I'll go back and do the mobile site side of things. So that's it. Yeah. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much. Let's have a Friday night and have a great weekend. There's some good football on. Enjoy yourselves. And I'll see you on Tuesday with Micah Van Huss. There's so many people on here in green. Check it out in advance. It's a good talk. And the intro is awesome. Like I said, Micah made that, allowed me to use it. So very thankful for that. And yeah, awesome stuff. So love you guys. Appreciate you. And I don't have a mouse. Ironically, I have a mouse for this computer, but it disappeared. And ironically, I think it's a cat that hid my mouse, took my mouse somewhere. Anyways, got to get a new mouse. Appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, just be awesome, man. Stay curious out there. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And we will catch you next week. All right. Cheers.